We're going live. And if you don't get off the phone, I'm going to tell everybody who you are.
Ask him if he downloaded Harry Potter.
Did you download Harry Potter? Dad wanted to know. We're live, by the way. He says I'll. Oh, good. Oh, good, honey. So you'll have a nice drive. That's good. I'm glad. Okay. I have to go now. It's gonna be raining here, so please drive careful. We are live.
Okay. Hello, everybody.
Okay. There's a million people.
My wife is on the phone with our son Logan, who is driving home from Penn State.
Bye.
And
yep, I warned him that if he, excuse me, stayed on with me, I would tell everyone that he was coming home from college today. So Logan is coming home from college today. Woohoo! I'm going to be cleaning the house. Yesterday I bought all the groceries. Tonight I'm going to make him a nice dinner and bake him some cookies. So yes, I have told our son I've told you all of our details. And he sent me pictures this morning of his car. Dear God, help me. I don't know where we're going to put it all. Probably in an empty guest room, but that's okay. Let's see. Everyone's here. We have everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Our field trip to the zoo was great. We got to meet Betty White. She looks like a dinosaur, but she is not a dinosaur. Peanut Girl says, hi, Scott. I'm 10 years old. I love your work and you are my mentor.
Oh, thank you.
Darby says, good morning with a little happy face and a sun. We have Nixia who says, hey, howdy, hey. Bethany, of course, was here. Bethany's always here. Steph Nerd says, morning.
Don't make her feel bad. Bethany's always here.
I love that she's always here. She said, hello, my favorite tea and crumpets.
All right. So I saw this picture and I was thinking of painting it. And I have an idea of what I want to do, but I want to just kind of show you some of the thoughts that went through my mind.
Let's see. Hello from South Africa. Vilko drew a kangaroo today.
Oh, nice.
Lots of hellos. Lots of highs.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Ev9 ate their grandma, which is kind of sad. You should really use a punctuation on that one. Let's see. Hi from Nepal. Wave hi to the red panda. Hello from Australia. Oh, I have to go to... Oh, the door's open. Okay, all right. Well, we have an Arwen. Arwen's decided to join the chat today.
All right.
Hi, good morning to everybody.
So... I really like this picture. I don't know if you guys could see it okay.
Yeah, we can see it just fine.
And so I was thinking there's several ways that I could do this, but I definitely, I like the way this little thing curls back. So I've had a couple thoughts. The one that
we cannot see the thumbnail on the very tippy top. Thank you. That works fine.
The one that I'm probably the most keen on is this one. Would be she is here. Right, and that's her shoulders. Arms, and she's kind of got her hands down like this.
Let's see. Good afternoon from Sweden.
Good afternoon, right? So it would be something like this. And I was thinking of either a stained glass window, maybe starting here. Kind of looking at the rules of thirds, right?
I love a stained glass window.
Yeah, so the stained glass window, and I don't know exactly what to do with the stained glass window yet. But this would be in shadow. and whatever the decoration
Is she wearing
would be.
a sari, an Indian dress?
No, this feels more like. Oops.
Well, that was fun. We're getting a little action in this morning.
This feels more like a like a Dracula kind of costume. Which makes me think, like it could be, a vampire or something like that, or a bat, or
Could be a really spooky moon.
yeah.
Oh, or a castle in the stained glass.
Yeah, but I'm saying, I mean, I could do a bunch of different stuff.
Oh,
So that could
so
be
many
one
comments.
thing. The other one would be, but I like her off to the left, and it's very reminiscent of this piece that I did,
Which is off to the right.
which is off to the right.
You like those offset things.
I do.
Is that just a personal preference?
I think it tells a story.
Okay.
You have the person, they look wistful or lonely or whatever, and
What colored pencil is that, please?
it's a watercolor pencil, and it's just
And what sketchbook are you using?
oh, this is hold on, might as well sharpen this while I got it out. These are the ones by Pentel, which if you remember when I did the light fastness test, these are one of the first ones to fade, so don't go get them. But they're fun to draw with. This is Strathmore sketchbook. It's a big one. It's
Looks like
11 by 14.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks really big. And that one's good for just the paper looks very.
It's
thin.
very. It's not copy paper thin, but it is thin.
Yeah.
It's
good and it's positioned
Yeah.
well on the camera. Okay, so my tea today is I have 2 cups of the black box, the Berries Master Blend, because Donna was tired last night, so Donna took Donna took a Xanax, and not half a Xanax. Donna took a whole Xanax, and I slept, and Arwen
Finally
slept
yeah.
until 5:45 this morning. So let me tell you, when I say, "Whoa, this is the longest I've slept in a long time."
Okay. Another thought I had was
Anne Marie's here.
Anne-Marie was it might be kind of fun to have this be a library.
Ooh,
And just fill it up with books,
you win. You win.
and whatnot would be kind of fun. So it would be.
Pop still says, "I'm learning perspective right now. What a coincidence."
Oh, that's great.
What is composition? That's a good question.
Well, composition is how you lay out your page. So this is very centered. It's like when you're taking a photo, they say make sure your composition, make sure your subject is in the center. But there's a thing called the rule of threes, and if you turn on your camera, you can have your camera set up to do this. And you guys, oops, I got it set that way.
You got to see Scott this morning.
Can you guys see the?
No, you're off the screen.
Here, I'll do this. Can you see the guidelines here?
Yes, but it was better on the paper.
Really? Because the guidelines are white.
No, it's okay. Go back to the other thing. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
It's still just hard to see. But
So you have a third of the way, and it's better to, if you look, I have.
can't see it.
Okay. Well, anyways, if you look, I have the. She's on 1/3. This is on the other third. You can have a third here. You can have a third here. Third here. So this is kind of your rule of thirds. And this
you can
is
do
where
it vertical or horizontal?
Yeah, you can do it vertical or horizontal, and it's where stuff gets to be a little bit more interesting, is when things are off to the side. And it creates a sense of movement or space rather than in the center. In the center is like a Wes Anderson kind of thing. Well, he doesn't do that either. Like, he'll have characters off to the side or things positioned. But I'm saying, like when you just see a single person standing in the middle, is very rigid. It's very uniform, and that could be used to kind of make things feel a little off. But this tells a story. So if I was to do, okay, I'm not going to draw each individual one. So if these are books here, and then I could also have the lighting follow the flow. Like that. Might be kind of nice too. Maybe even frame it.
That's pretty.
Yeah. If I wanted to, I could even kind of cut it in here a little bit too. And I did that again with this one as well. You can see there's shadow.
Oh yeah.
And she's in shadow here. And so your eye is going to go here. So rather than looking at everything perfectly lit, your eye is going to see a little bit of this tapestry and then, go here. Or you might go here and then go over to there. But then later on, you'll look down, you'll see the little chair and the bricks and whatever. But that's a little bit how you tell a story. So I could put something important. I could put a skull here or something, or,
or a jar with a brain in it.
Yeah, like you could do some cool stuff in the light. You could add like little Easter egg stuff outside the light, and I think this is a lot more interesting than this, with the unless I really had something to say in the stained glass. So you could do that. Another thought I had was to do. I could do it maybe more designy.
What colors should I use to draw shadows in watercolor?
I like purple. I use like a Winsor Violet. I like purple for shadows. I think cool colors are good for shadows.
Ooh, this person says, how about a secret door in the library?
Well, that's good. It's not a bad idea. All right, so now I could go more designy, and I could do the hair, and I could do something like
a lot
this.
of people like the library idea.
That's good.
It truly isn't alive without Donna and her tea. You guys are funny. Hey, good morning, Ellen.
Hey, Ellen. You could do something designy like a hair journal type of thing. And then I could put a circle here.
How very Art Nouveau of you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Can you push it up a little? We're losing the bottom of that. Thank you. Every time you pick the 11 by 14, the big, or 11 by 17, the big papers, it comes out of the frame a little bit.
So you could do something like this, which would be, a little more Art Nouveau. We would design something. There'd be a little pattern behind here or whatever. But I think something like this is kind of fun. I think it would tell a story. I would just be spending, quite a bit of time inking all of the books, and I would have to come up with the books and maybe the names of the books and everything else.
I could help you with that.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
but the names of the books
don't tease me.
The names of the books could tell a story. They could be on witchcraft, or they could be, on sailing, or they could be poetry or whatever, and we could tell a story with just this image. And that's illustration. So illustration is telling a story
in an image,
with art, and all of that just from this beautiful photograph. I could do some really, really fun stuff. And so that's kind of some of the stuff that I was thinking about this morning, and how you could you could try different, like I said, you could do stained glass.
Now, let me ask you this question. Would you do this in gouache or watercolor? And would you use the Arches paper? And what size would you do this?
I would want her to be at least this big, which means I would probably need to use the gouache paper or the Arches paper, but the Arches paper might not be big enough. And
how big is that paper?
It's
11.
14 by 20.
Oh my God!
So
you'd go bigger than a 14 by 20.
Well, if I was to make her this big,
yeah.
Then I think I could maybe make it work.
Now that's hot press.
This is hot press.
So you'd have to use gouache.
No, I could do watercolor on it, and it's just gonna be less texture, which is not a bad thing. But I don't know if I would want to do it in gouache. This was gouache with ink on top, and it wasn't a bad technique, but I honestly don't know. I don't know if I want to do a piece that big anymore.
Yeah, I was wondering. That's
but see,
big.
This is just kind of boring. Even if I added like a circle behind her or whatever, it is a little boring. But this gives it some
depth.
longing, So like here it just cuts off, but here you can kind of see she's moving, and I like.
I can really see the difference now when you're talking about illustration tells a story. I can see the difference when you point it out here, when you point it out like this in these thumbnails. I can really see the difference of it. It makes me think of oh my God, Norman Rockwell, the covers he did for the Saturday Evening Post.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
Should we try a different one?
Sure.
Let's see.
Do something with a lot of folds to it, with a lot of life to it.
Let me just try this one. This is that same model that I painted on Wednesday. This one right here.
Okay, so there's a lot of questions. So let's get into some questions. But I love the fact that you're talking about all this. I think a lot of people have wanted to know this for a while. We have had numerous people say that they're huge fans of yours and they love being here. We have numerous people who are here for their first time. So
thank you very much.
Welcome.
We're just kind of playing around today. I will admit I'm running a little bit out of steam. So there's I had a really nice talk. How many of you know Black Bean and their wonderful oil pastels?
Me. I know Black Bean.
So I had a great chat with him on yesterday, and we talked for 2 hours or so. Yeah, and
Scott had a
we
moment
talked
yesterday
about gouache and everything, and it is a lot to create artwork daily. To create something new every day is a lot, and you run into
artist block.
Well, it's not artist block so much as just, I think, a little bit of
burnout,
exhaustion. Yeah, a little burnout. And so, even saying, what am I gonna do during the live today? And I don't think artists want to draw celebrities all the time, musicians and whatnot. You want to create something unique. You want to create something fantastical or whatever. And so I'm going through that a little bit, and I know sometimes we just need to step away,
take a break,
and but we do love hanging out with you all. We love spending time with you, and so sometimes they're just these are a little chaotic, and please bear with us.
Let's. I think it's good to have an insight into your brain, and I think a lot of people who draw, I think it helps them to know that they're not alone if they're struggling to come up with something to draw.
Yeah.
I think everybody struggles, with things like that. Okay, Subaru Outback Guy 2 says, this might be something that can't be answered, but I got a medic bag for Christmas and I can't find a 10 by 8 sketchbook that will fit the spot it would go. Any suggestions? I already checked Blick.
Wow, 10 by 8's a big, that's a big bag. I have, what was the one I was painting in yesterday?
I don't know. What were you painting in yesterday?
This is 8.5 by 11.
Let me let her out. Hey guys, you're getting chaos this morning.
Well, I'm looking for a 10 by 8 sketchbook.
How big is your medic bag? Shouldn't it?
That's a big bag.
That is a big bag. Whoops, sorry. Come on, kiddo.
You know, my sketchbook is 5.5 by 8, or 5.5 by 8.5, and it's a great size sketchbook.
Very portable.
There's nothing wrong with having a little extra room. Mm-hmm. You know, maybe just keep that. You know, keep a smaller sketchbook. Mm-hmm. Maybe you don't need a larger one. It
is cloudy outside of the Hobbit hole. Can I make a side note on the size of the sketchbook? Sometimes when you go outside of, your art location, having something big is hard to handle. If you're sitting, think about it. If you're sitting on a park bench, or you're sitting on a blanket somewhere, or you're sitting on a small chair or something, it might be better to have something smaller so it's not as unwieldy.
Yeah.
That's just...
So I'm looking for shapes here, and I'm trying to see what...
Her hair is lovely.
Yeah. But I'm trying to see what is going to be the shape that I want to follow. I think, she's kind of got this, well, whatever it is, which is kind of gives her some, like this triangular shape, which is really kind of fun.
Yeah.
And,
Scott does have tutorials on facial features, not all in one video, but they are in the Art Hacks playlist. The zebra brush pens are fantastic. Scott loves them. FXRS says, my sketchbook has gotten wet, so now it is all gone. What do I do with crying emojis?
Oh, no. I don't know. You can go back and rework it, or you could just leave it and start a new one. But that is horrible.
I'm so sorry about that. That's sad. Are you sure you can't salvage it if it dries out? Like, you could put it, sort of hang it somewhere and let it sit there for a while. Yeah, sorry about that. We have a Jamie Brown.
Hey, Jamie.
Soroha says, yesterday's Star Wars shirt was so good. Donna looked so pretty in it.
Oh.
Thank you. Donna was a lot younger in that. That was about 10 years ago. What are your opinions on the line of actions?
Line of action is a great thing, especially if you're doing comic books, animation, and whatnot.
Honey, your phone.
Oh. You're pointing at the screen. I couldn't. All right. All right. So this is very generic.
Oh, okay. So two things. It's going to rain today outside the Hobbit hole, which makes it very nice and wonderful inside the Hobbit hole. And it is about 9:30 here. We are on the Central Time Zone.
I'm going to try a very tall piece and see what that would feel like.
If you're in the U.S. looking for sketchbooks, start at someplace easy like Michael's. If you are overseas, I do not have specific recommendations, but perhaps you could ask in the chat for people in your country who could give you some information. We have a Santa, and Santa says, I just saw a picture of me in the journal. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. How are we doing, Santa?
You did. We were just talking about you yesterday with our friends at the zoo, and they were saying Santa might really enjoy coming around for Zoolumination in December and January.
They're going to have a Santa's village.
Because they have a whole Santa's village, and he might like to come and see that. There is a video on where Scott gets his photo reference, and babe, is it in the Art Hacks playlist?
Yeah, it's in the Art Hacks playlist, and if you just go to the website, there is under resources links. But this particular one is just off of from one of the photographers I follow. I'm just on Instagram. I'm just wondering if there's a thing to do with the dress or anything like that, or that could be done. I don't really know if that's something that is interesting to me. But these are the things you got to try out. You got to just
answer some of these for me. Do you prefer watercolor in tubes or cakes?
Tubes. I like tubes because they are more economical.
If you organize your paints, markers, or pencils in order of the rainbow, does it look better in your opinion? Brown before red or pink before red?
Organize them where? In your...
If you organize your paints, markers, and pencils in order of the rainbow, does it look better in your opinion, brown before red or pink before red?
It depends on what comes before or after it. Like if I go purple to red, then the pink's going to look good in it. But if I'm going to go to maybe more of the yellows, you can go red to orange to browns to yellows if you wanted to. So it just depends. For me, it's looking at what comes next.
We did actually just a few days ago watch that RRR movie, and it was very funny. We have a Marguerite from British Columbia, Canada. How you doing, Marguerite? Hope you're doing well.
All right, so the next one would be, let me put this here. Can you guys see that okay?
Yes. Today I copied one of your thumbnails on hair in art class, and it was fun.
Oh, good.
I didn't have enough time for watercolor, so I used highlighter. I love all your work. That's Hyper Penguin.
Fantastic, thank you.
I think the hair should go up like Frida Kahlo.
Yeah, we could try that next.
If you're looking for a piece of Scott's art, thank you, Mr. Clock. We have a website, ssavaart.com. Let's see. Oh, how many sketchbooks do you own? Good grief. I don't even know if we've counted recently. 40, 50. There's a lot of sketchbooks.
Yeah.
If you could have any exotic pet, what would it be? Snake, spider, lizard, feline, canine.
Assuming that the pet is sentient and happy to be with me, I would probably pick like a tiger or a cheetah or something like that. It'd definitely be a cat, a big cat. Though a polar bear would be kind of fun. I
think there's only two places where exotic animals need to be, and I think they either
that's
belong.
Why we're talking make believe.
I'm not make believe.
Where they're like your best friends.
Nope.
And you guys hang out and you go get ice cream together. And
no, well then Red Panda.
Yeah,
but no. What should I do for the first page on my travel journal sketchbook?
I did a video on that. Yeah, for my first page of my sketchbook, I always try to do something nice that makes me feel nice when I open it up and see a nice piece. I put the date and everything.
And I have a poem that I put in my writing journal. Let's see. How can I find my art medium?
By trying out
different
ones. Yeah. I did gouache for a few years, and then I tried acrylic gouache. I did watercolors. I did colored pencils for decades. I've done markers. I did digital. I think you should always try different stuff. There's some stuff that is a little harder to get into, like sculpting, because of the materials and just, the materials, really. Okay, I'm going to try...
Santa left you a very generous tip, and then
Santa, you didn't have to do that.
He never does. Santa says, I'm seeing many struggling right now. Never forget the power of perspective. Take time each day to identify the good in your life. I believe in you. You are amazing and loved.
Thank you, my friend. You're far too kind.
We love you, Santa. And can we just say that to all of our friends Everybody who's here today, please know that you're loved, and we're so happy that you're here. And we're happy that you decide that you're going to spend a little bit of your precious time out of your day with us, because it does mean a lot. It really does. It means a lot to us that you're here. And we hope you always feel welcome and loved when you're here. Again, for several of you who've asked about where Scott gets his photo references, there's a video on that. There's also, if you go on the website under the resources section, there are some links there that you can follow to find photo references.
Yeah, there's both free and paid for.
Yes, so you can find those.
And the paid for stuff is pretty cheap, you know. You're
very reasonably priced. Hey, Brazen Spirituality's back and says good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing, friend? My drawing has been idle lately. I just need to pick up my pens again. Thanks for the inspiration.
You're welcome.
Do you have a tutorial on watercolor or gouache? I want to learn, but I'm unsure where to start.
They're not like long tutorials. They're shorts. But there's a few. And I think if you look at there's one with Wonder Woman, the difference between watercolor and gouache kind of shows that off a little bit.
I think too, just trying, them out and seeing how they feel. If you buy something that, and just try it out and see if you like it or don't like it. I know Steph Nerd and I both journal, and we both have a tendency. I won't presume to speak for her, but since I've talked to her so much, I know she does. We both try different pens and different papers and different things, and that's just something that we like to do. We like to try the different feel of different things. So try something new, see how you like it.
I'm almost down to using Donna's pencil sharpener now. No, I guess this one might.
Note to self, buy a new pencil sharpener. Let me add that to my list of things to do. Buy new pencil sharpener.
Well, maybe I need to get an electric pencil sharpener that can do down to the nibs. I don't know.
I don't know if you have excuse me. I don't know if they have ones that will go down that small. I've never seen electric ones. I've only seen manual ones that will go down that small. Terry says, you know what? I'm taking a mental health day and I'm taking a bath for an hour. Good for you.
That's great. I
love that. When did you start sketching?
Probably when I was around 6 or 7.
Hello Kitty Forever. What kind of pencils are you asking about? Are you asking about sketching pencils? So graphite pencils? Are you asking about colored pencils? They're asking what pencils do you recommend? So give me a little more and Scott can answer the question, but there's a lot of different kinds of pencils.
Yeah, I use different pencils for different situations.
Yeah.
The pencils that you're seeing me play around with now are just watercolor pencils that I bought that I never use.
Yeah.
And so actually this would be nice if this kind of just ponytail kind of goes this way.
I got back into drawing because of you and found my medium, and it's watercolor.
Oh, that's great.
Yay. I keep on trying oil paints, and man, I just can't get my head around it. It just doesn't work. Gouache, however, is so comforting and fun. You really helped get me into watercolor mediums. That's Asher Arts.
Totally agree. Oils are poopy.
Oh, come on. Bethany Primrose loves oil paints. You just have to find your medium. I feel like she needs a dragon on her shoulders.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a good question. Ferris, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you love your wife? I think your relationship is so cute.
11. Though she's going to be mad that I didn't say 12.
I'm going to tell you, from my perspective, I think he loves me like a 25. I'm just saying. I think he does. Can anyone recommend a good beginner fountain pen? Oh, yes, we can. Why, you've come to the right place. The TWSBI Echo is a great beginner fountain pen. TWSBI. You can go to gouletpens.com. They have some great ones. Jetpens.com has great beginner pens. Please don't spend more than $20 or $30. You can even find fountain pens that are like $10. And there's actually even pens that I can't remember the brand. Steph, maybe you can remember the brand, but they're disposable fountain pens. I mean, I don't recommend a disposable because, I'm trying to get away from that with the, being more eco-friendly. But you could try those and see if you really like a fountain pen. Or you could go to an art store and see if they have some pens that you could try. That would be what I would recommend. And I did find that Cocoa Shimmer ink that I was looking for, by the way. How do you create good skin tones in pencils?
In pencils, really it's just a matter of starting off with a flesh tone, adding in your shadows, and then coming in with the highlights at the end. It's really... you can watch me use colored pencils in a lot of the lives. I've done them a few times. I took the dragon idea, but I didn't put it on her shoulder. I put it behind her. What do you guys think?
Ooh, I like that. I think, and again, I won't speak for Steph, but I think she and I both like to touch the pens and touch the paper when we're going to use them for journaling. Steph says, this is true. I like touching papers when looking at journals, and my bag has a Midori notebook to test inks and pens. Love you, Steph. Oh, Brazen Spirituality says, I am well, thank you. I have been in rural northern Missouri for a month now, and I have taken a bajillion pictures of landscapes, flowers, birds, newborn lambs even. Oh my gosh. Baby lammies. Oh my God. I can't stand baby animals. They're just the cutest thing. My heart wants to explode every time I see them. Let's see. I did miss that one comment from that one person. Do you like having pets?
It is a love-hate relationship. Because
it's only a love-hate relationship since a specific person has been diagnosed with a heart condition. Prior to that, it was absolutely lovely having a pet. Having a pet with health issues is challenging and makes you sleep deprived. But that's another story. Okay, so... Bear wants to know how you draw fur. If you go to the 30 Days of Studying National Animals, there are animals there with fur, and you can see how Scott drew fur. Pilot Varsity or disposable fountain pens. I haven't tried them. Yes. My first was a Schneider pen. It wasn't expensive and it's easy to use. That's it. The Pilot Varsity fountain pens. And I have tried them, and that's what made me really want to have an actual fountain pen. I had one that I used for quite a while, and it's interesting because it's a different feel with a fountain pen on how you write and how the ink hits the page.
I think I heard
Of course, she's at the front door. Okay, so what is your favorite medium to work with?
All right, I'll start as soon as Donna leaves.
Okay. Tell them what your favorite medium is to work with. Oh my God, getting old.
Right now, currently, it is watercolor and ink. I like to go places and sketch. This is relaxing for me to go and sit somewhere and draw. I don't really get to do it very often, all in one sitting. As you could see, this is from our trip to Carmel a month ago, and we were at lunch yesterday, and I was kind of filling in, I was drawing these out, and I don't always get a chance to finish everything, and so but that's my favorite medium. I could also use it for stuff like the hair journal and whatnot. After that, I have been enjoying doing the pencil sketches. Like this. I was just answering, what I... So these are kind of fun. These are, again, relaxing. I could do them in about an hour. and I like that.
Do you feel like you get more satisfaction out of the finishing something quickly, or do you like doing something over time?
To me, I think I get more satisfaction finishing a travel journal, which is both finishing quickly and over time.
And a memory, yeah.
So, I mean, it takes a year to
Interesting.
finish this, but
Yeah.
I get the satisfaction of sitting down and painting something and then it's done. And so I like that because it encompasses both my short attention span, but also a sense of accomplishment over
Long term.
a longer term.
Okay.
The longer pieces like this or this one, I like them, but they just sit in a drawer. Like I don't know, like you spend 2 weeks on a piece and then they just get tucked in a drawer, or even if they get framed and put up on a wall. I don't know. I guess I look at the value. I don't know if I get a value out of it compared to spending 90 minutes and then a piece of art is done and I can move on to another one the next day. But like I said, I go back and forth. I get tired of doing a painting a day.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you kind of want to just spend some time on a longer painting. So now I'm wondering if this character would look good with the dragon going this way. But I think I'm not 100% sold on this.
The back?
The character, yeah. I mean, it's an interesting one. Let me see what else we got.
Okay. Ryan says Twisby is good. I also recommend the Quico Sport as a good simple fountain pen. I recommend purchasing a piston converter so you don't have to buy refills. Interesting. Yeah, I don't like the refills because they're in plastic and I'm trying to be more eco-friendly. So I like the bottles of ink myself. Ooh, that's lovely.
Yeah, we're going to do that.
I like the folds on that one.
All right, time to change pencils. Let's see. What are we going to draw this one in?
I don't know, but I like the fact that she looks like a warrior. It's pretty cool. Let's see. Lewis says, thank you. I really needed this, Scott. By the way, love the dragon.
Oh, thank you.
What is my Grail pen? Okay, so a lot of people get into fountain pens and they have a Holy Grail pen that they've always wanted to buy. I'm not there yet. I'm still a newbie at this. I've only been using this for about a year and a half.
Can you guys see this okay?
Yes, we can. If you're going to be at the top of the page, you need to pull the pad down, the sketch pad down. Thank you. See where we are in the upper left-hand corner? We can't see. So I have a Conklin fountain pen that Scott, honey, the upper left-hand corner we're having a hard time with. Yeah, thank you. That's perfect. That I love. I like a broad nib on my fountain pen, but I don't really have a Holy Grail pen. And I don't understand, like I went on this one website, there's this wonderful pen store that we found in Carmel when we were there. And this place has pens that are thousands of dollars, like multiple thousands of dollars. And I don't understand, I mean, aside from the materials, the handcrafting of the materials of the pen, I don't understand spending $10,000 on a fountain pen. That doesn't make any sense to me. But
so this is figure drawing, really. If you guys ever want to practice, just go and find somebody's, photo rolls of poses, models, and whatnot. And again, there's links on my channel. And just do these little thumbnails where you're not worried about the details, you're not drawing the face, you're just getting your proportions right and your body, positions, and you're seeing shapes. It's a good practice.
Okay. So there are several, actually many, videos on colored pencils. There would be in the Art Hacks playlist and also in the products we've reviewed playlist. There's a lot of things because Scott's tried multiple brands of colored pencils.
Oh, yeah, we did. That was fun. Inexpensive.
Santa says for smooth writing, get a broad, solid gold nib.
Okay.
That might be a little expensive for Donna right now. Steph says thousands. My self-imposed limit is no more than $60 because of currency conversion.
Yeah.
And Ellen says that expensive pen would never leave the desk. I would agree with that. But I guess people use them all the time. I don't know. I mean, that just seems like a very... but they're, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like if you look at them in the case behind the glass, because that's where they were, they're beautiful and they're very wonderfully done. But
by the way, they did have to clean the glass afterwards because Donna's nose was pressed up against it.
It was a nose and 10 fingers. Let's see. Let's see. I bought a new drawing table today and a book about water painting for $1.
Oh,
I am
wow.
happy. Yay! Good for you. I love a good bargain. Let me tell you. I love a good bargain. Okay. So a lot of you are asking for cheap watercolor supplies. So we partnered with Grabby and we did a set with them. And Bethany, I think there's still a link on our website. I'm not sure where the link is. Maybe it's in the art supplies. But you get a whole set and you can use the code that there's there. It's $25 and you get paper and a pencil and a paintbrush and paints and an ink pen. You get everything you need to know, everything you need to use. And it's only $25. So you can try that. Do you like getting art supplies from local stores or Amazon or online websites?
I usually get most of my art supplies from Blick, which is online. Mm-hmm. I also like going to Plaza Art, which is a local art store.
Mm-hmm. They're lovely there. If you go into a local art store, they are the nicest people. They will help you figure out, reasonably priced art supplies and different things. And I mean, they're a wealth of information. Steph says, I played around with an old cheap fountain pen my dad had that he never used. Then I bought one when I wanted to get into fountain pens. That's a great way to do it.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's great.
All right. So another thing I'm doing, in case you guys want to see, is I'm twisting her body a little bit. Okay. So I'm raising, it's called a contrapposta pose, where essentially you're...
It's called a what, I'm sorry?
Contrapposta.
Contrapposta.
Yeah, I think it's Italian, but where your shoulders, one shoulder's higher, and then your body goes opposite. So the shoulder and this shoulder and this
waist.
Hip are
higher,
closer, and this one are farther away.
Oh.
Kind of gives you like this shape. And it's basically, it's when you put all your weight on one hip or one foot, and you kind of bend the other leg.
Oh, you're leaning a little bit.
Yeah, that.
Okay.
And then, so what I'm doing is I'm exaggerating this. It's slight here, but I'm exaggerating it. I'm also twisting her body a little bit because it makes it more interesting. So I'm making this arm, which has got all these really wonderful folds, take up a little more space, and I'm moving that hand over across her body more. And then this other hand is just kind of here for support. So you're going to see less of this one over here. So you see now it's right here, it's right under her head, but I'm moving it more over to here.
Okay.
And I think that'll be just better compositionally.
What makes you change the pose of a model?
It's very subtle, and I usually don't do it too much, but again, just for the feeling of drama. You see this?
Yeah.
Look at this. Obviously I spent more time on this one, but you can see this one's very kind of plain. Mm-hmm. This one is
it's a little more exaggerated.
A little more
so
turned.
Is there more movement to it maybe?
Yeah, it's what was that photographer on TikTok who would always tell you like a better way to pose?
I don't remember, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name.
Yeah. It's like that. There's
just make it better. It just makes
better
it better.
composition,
Better composition.
better body language.
I gotcha.
And
okay. What's your favorite artwork you've ever done?
Probably the Animal Crackers movie poster. So again, if I was going to go by the rules of threes, what should I put here? Should I put a castle?
Ryan says, I have 2 Peter pens and a container of platinum carbon ink I have yet to use. Peter would be disappointed. Donna's disappointed. Break out that pen. I honestly have not used, aside from in my calendar where I can't use my fountain pen. Ever since I started using fountain pens, that's all I want to write with.
See, and then I would have the horizon be on this third.
Are you a sports fan?
Not too much. I play sport. I'd rather play sports than watch them.
The tea today is the Master Blend from Barry's Tea, the black box, because Donna needed to wake up. So we have not 1 cup, but 2 cups of that. We are on cup number 2. Let's see. How do you draw things out of your comfort zone? And do you have any tips to help me draw something new?
Drawing out of my comfort zone is something I've had to do a lot since I started doing TikTok and YouTube and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
you've been so far out of your comfort zone. It's even funny.
But I think I want to frame this kind of. I think what I would do is be very kind to yourself. Just be kind to yourself, and it's really freeing doing something that's out of your comfort zone, because like when I tried digital or oil pastels, it was like, you can screw up, and what are you going to do? You can't be mad at yourself. You've never done it before.
That's true.
So, it's
except when you flung the oil pastels. You didn't like those.
Yeah, by the way, Christian was like, you got to try oil pastels again. I'm like, you're going to have to teach me. He goes, deal.
Oh, so. That's cute. Do you get good stuff from Blick?
I buy good stuff from Blick.
Boy, howdy, do we ever get all of so many things from Blick, and they're all great. Yeah. They have a, if you've been on their website or haven't been on their website, you need to, because they have everything. Put in the search bar anything you're looking for, and they've got it. It's crazy. And you know what really blows my mind is how many different art supplies are out there. Like, it's crazy. I mean, there's a supply. I personally think there's got to be a supply for everybody, between the different papers, the different mediums, the different pens and pencils and inks and, and paints and all the different things. Like, there's got to be a supply out there for everybody.
Yeah.
There's just so much. It's crazy. But it's at the same time, it's really cool, and there's supplies for every price point. I mean, it's super cool. It's like Scott said, you can sketch with a pencil and a piece of paper. You can journal the same way. I mean, you guys saw me like a couple weeks ago. It was just scrap paper and a pencil, right? I mean, you can make anything work, but it's just super cool how much everything's out there. Tell Chattabooks what pen you use when you paint with watercolor, because they are always scared to use ink with watercolor so it doesn't smudge.
Zebra brush pen, this one right here.
And where do you get them?
You can get it from Jet Pens. I think Blick has them too.
Oh, here's the circle tool. Visconti is Santa's favorite brand. See, now I don't
know. Are you sure that you're not thinking of biscotti?
Would you stop? Maybe Santa likes Visconti because it sounds like Visconti.
Yeah. That makes more sense.
Our favorite cookie pusher. Oh gosh. Soap says, I love watching these lives. It's so peaceful. What is your favorite color?
Payne's gray.
My favorite pen in the world is a cheap old $7 Pilot Plumix. You know what? You like what you like.
Yeah.
Honestly, I will tell you, for years, when I used to go to meetings at school and everything else, and I had a notebook, I would take all these notes in, whatever. And I would bring a Bic, the Bic pens, the plastic see-through Bic pens. I got a set of the Bic pens in a bold point. It was a 1.6 bold point. And I would take those pens with me and I would write all my meeting notes in hot pink. Because I had to sit through another stupid PTO meeting. So if I was going to sit through a meeting and listen to people whine and complain, I was going to write with a pretty pen in a pretty color that didn't cost me a fortune. So I did. And I would keep it in my little bag with all my little school stuff and everything. But it was great. So would Scott ever consider doing a sketch with his left hand? Because people want you to have chaos, honey.
I did do that once. There is a video on it. I don't remember what it was called. It was something like art is more about storytelling than it is anything else. And I tried drawing with my left hand. It was pretty bad.
Well, that's okay, because I could draw with my right hand and it would be just as bad as your left hand. Oh, God. Let's see. Where am I? That circle did amazing things for the style of the picture. Nice.
Yeah. You can.
Do you have an alternative for the zebra brush pens?
Donna does.
Hold on. Shh. Thank you, Mr. Clock. Okay, the Sakura Pigma pens are also waterproof.
Microns are also waterproof, but they're not really. I think they do have a brush tip one, but I didn't really like it as much. But you could try those.
What do you think of polypropylene watercolor, alcohol, and acrylic paper?
I don't think I've tried it.
Yeah, I don't think we've tried that at all. Anna Maria says, I have a question. What makes us an artist? When can we call ourselves an artist?
Make art. Just do anything, and if that's what you want to be, then you're an artist. You don't need anybody's approval or anything. You just make art.
Does Blick ship to different countries? That is a great question. I don't know. I really don't know.
You guys see this okay?
Yeah, we can see that fine now. I don't know. You know what? If Blake gets in the chat, remind me to ask them where they ship to. They haven't been in the chat for a couple days. I'm assuming they're really busy because the end of school is really busy. So, but yeah. What inspired you for the movie and poster of Animal Crackers? Good question.
I was eating animal crackers in the backyard with our kids. We have twin boys. And I just had the idea of, well, what if when you ate a lion cookie, poof, you became a lion. And they loved it. And so we spent the day pretending to turn into animals. And I turned it into a graphic novel. And then my friend Kevin convinced me to turn it into a script. And so the rest, as they say, is history.
Scott has drawn King George III in Hamilton.
Oh, yeah.
I'm doing tattooing in my art class, and I'm experimenting with ink splotches. Do you have any animals or species I could try? Can be fantasy or real life.
I'd love to see a minotaur.
Oh, nice. What inspires you to draw every day? Sketch Fusion would like to know.
Sheer force of will at this point.
Yeah.
Before it was just the inspiration of the world around me.
Mm-hmm. The Chatterbooks, how do you make it so you don't use too much water when watercoloring? My paint palette is in little trays, so I need water to activate it.
What is that? Say it one more
How
time.
do you make it so you don't use too much water when watercoloring? My paint palette is in little trays, so I need water to activate it.
Okay. You have like a thing like this,
I don't know if they have a...
or is it?
Chatterbooks, do you have, what kind of palette is it?
Or is it more
Is
like
it a to-go palette? What is it?
But you're gonna need to just wet it.
Mm-hmm.
You have a spot on your palette where you can, kind of pick it up and then move it around if you want to. But
Don't you dab yours on a paper towel or a napkin?
no. Only if I want to just dry it off. But you're gonna get a blank piece of paper and practice.
Yeah.
Wet, clean your brush off between each one, so that way you're not picking up the color and putting it into the next color.
What pencil are you using right now?
I'm using a Pentel watercolor pencil.
Have you ever tried a digital airbrush?
Digital airbrush? Mm-hmm. No, I've used a real airbrush, but not a digital one.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. You guys are so funny. If they had really expensive fountain pens, they'd chain them to their desk like they had to with the pens at the bank. You guys are so funny. Andrea says, I have a question. Is anyone troubled by finding an art style that you actually like, but isn't even close of what you did want to get? My current style is going for an unexpected phase.
You go where the muse takes you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get upset if you find something that makes you happy. There's no supposed to be's. Don't go thinking that, well, I was supposed to go and do this style. If you like something, go for it. Yeah. Life is short.
Don't should all over yourself.
Yeah.
Does anyone else watch Sam Does Art?
I do. I love his stuff.
Cadmium Free Red or Winsor Red?
I use the cadmium free red.
Mm-hmm. Only because I yelled at him and made him throw away all his cadmium paints. Because I want him around a while. Unlike Bethany Primrose, who won't get rid of hers. Bad Bethany. Cadmium bothers me. I don't like it when things are toxic. I'm saving up for art school at the moment. I have a while to go, but it's a huge goal of mine. I love watching you guys, and you make me want to continue.
Oh, fantastic. I hope you get to go. And I hope it's amazing.
Yeah, don't start out with expensive paints, guys. Don't start out with expensive anything. Paints, inks, pens.
The first thing you should be doing is paper and pencil. Just learn to draw. That's the most important thing. Then you could move to cheap paints, and then you could move to medium, and do yourself a favor, because otherwise you're going to get nervous. You're not going to want to experiment because you're going to be afraid of ruining expensive paper.
Yeah.
Use the cheap stuff so you could throw it out or
or if you don't
erase it or whatever.
And if you let's say you buy an expensive set of watercolors or oils or gouache or something, and then you absolutely hate the medium because you've never worked with it before. That doesn't make sense. Start off with something that is just a low level kind of thing to try and go from there. Because if you hate it, you're going to feel really, really bad having spent all that money on it, Do you like mandala art?
I do. Not enough to try it myself.
I love it, and I'd love to try it. That would be something I could totally do, I think. I've seen several artists that do that. Some of them do it with fountain pens, believe it or not.
I've seen... I follow or I'm friends with somebody on TikTok who does it on eggs.
Mandala art on eggs?
I think that's what
Are you kidding? You know that gal Ruby Silvis who does the teabag art that I like?
Yeah.
She paints on pistachio shells. Because
tea bags weren't small enough.
Exactly. There's this artist I follow. Her name is Ruby Silvis, and I follow her on Instagram. And she paints on actual tea bags. Like she will used tea bags, and she's phenomenal. I actually have a couple of her pieces. I've bought them, and I looked one day, and she was painting with this teeny microscopic brush on pistachio shells. And I thought to myself, okay, first of all, I am way too blind to be painting on a pistachio shell. And I thought, I don't know how she has the patience for that. Yeah. But she makes the most beautiful, like some of them look like little ladybugs, She'll paint turn them into little ladybugs. She'll just do little fun designs on them. I don't know how she does it. I don't know. So, Steph Nerd says, it looks like Blick ships all over the world. So that's good to know. Thank you, Steph.
All right. Well,
you're like the Mr. Rogers of YouTube.
That's very nice of you. That is the kindest,
nicest
that's probably
compliment.
The
nicest thing you could have said to him. Angie Art says, I use Tombow brush pens. What paper do you think is best suited for markers? Come on, this is not hard. You like the Ohuhu paper.
I was thinking of zebra brush pens for some reason. I was thinking ink.
No.
Yeah. The Ohuhu one is the best. I enjoyed that one the best.
You did. Out of all the paper, that's the one you enjoyed. Okay, so Lucy just joined and wants to know what you're drawing.
We were trying different compositions based on different photos. So this one is based off of this one. Can you guys see everything okay?
Yeah, except the top ones because the paper's so big that there you go.
Okay.
There you go. That's good.
That'll work. Then there was this one. And I think I like the one with the dragon. Mm-hmm. But this one actually is not a bad composition. And really, I think because of the dark, this just being a shape is not a bad thing.
I don't know. That bugs me. If you're going to do a composition, I really like the bottom one with the dragon. I think that one's beautiful. I guess I'm tired of just the silhouette with the hair.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a little bit more to it. I love the library.
Yeah, and I think the library one.
Yeah, I love that one. I also like the one at the bottom with the circle behind her and then the hair flowing out. And the top one is nice too, but I'd like to see a castle on the right side. I think a castle would be nice.
Well, I did the castle on this one.
Yeah, but I like the other one better. I don't like her with the castle. I like back 2 pages, and I'd like to see that one with the castle.
All right, everybody. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to vote. 1, 2, 3, 4. What's your favorite composition? and then we'll move to the next one.
Okay, guys.
I like I like this long neck shape and the point here, and so I think that is good. I don't think I captured it well in here. Again, these were just thumbnails, but I think I would want to really kind of capture that shape.
No one's voting. Oh, wait, here it comes. 3. Let's see, 3. Oh. Well, it's 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, circle 3 so we know which one everybody voted for. Okay.
So now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5.
Okay. So page 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Oh my God. I'm going to need one of the mods to put in page 2. Can you put page 2 in, and then we'll see where everybody votes on page 2?
Yeah, you could have typed it.
Oh, I could have typed it, huh? I'm such an idiot. I'm sorry. Okay, hold on. Oh.
The mods will butter my bread.
5. Okay. You know what? Thanks, Uncle Paulie. I appreciate that. Oh my God. One of these days I'll tell you the Uncle Paulie story. Lord have mercy. My wife will butter my bread for me. It'll be a cold day, and you know what when I do that. Butter your own bread. 5.
5? Okay.
Yeah, 5. Okay.
All right.
Hold on.
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
We'll just put 4, 5.
All right. 1 through 5. I put page 3 in. So now you're voting for page 3.
I gotta be honest, I didn't like any of them.
I didn't like any of them either. Not on page 3.
But I like the photo reference.
I didn't like that one. That wasn't my favorite. Is composition always going to be in a triangle?
A triangle?
I don't know. That's Character Arc asks, is composition always going to be in a triangle?
You mean a rectangle? This is a triangle. Try being 3 sides.
It looks like 4 on the last page. So circle 4 on the last page.
All right, then I think chances are I'd probably start this one.
Yeah. Oh, Santa Claus likes number 4 on the last page.
But this was fun. I hope you guys liked this.
I liked it. I thought this was fun.
Good, good.
Yeah, this was a fun day.
Well,
I like it when you talk about the composition. I like it when you talk about, and I think everybody else does, because I've seen a lot of the questions on how do you come up with the things that you do and how do you put things together. And I think this is a nice change to show people how you come up with ideas on what to do. And even, you're a little, tired of doing it, tired, and sharing that too, that, I'm running out of ideas.
Yeah,
it's fun.
It's a lot, it's a lot to create content every day. It's a lot to, try to be entertaining and whatnot. But we do love spending time with you. I think it's just we need a gear shift at some point. I feel like we've plateaued.
Yeah, it's time for a little bit of a shift.
But all right, well, I'm gonna go get some scones.
Oh wait, what?
Yeah,
I'm baking today.
It's a Friday.
It's a Friday, so I need to make scones?
Yeah.
Okay. Only because I love you. Okay. So I'll tell you a short story for Wednesday. So I was gonna go upstairs on Wednesday, and I was like, oh, I wanna just like not bake. I'm so tired. I don't want to bake. And so our son calls. And I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to get Dad to go to have bagels with me because I don't want to bake today. And he's like, well, why don't you just wait a couple days and we'll go get bagels together? And I was like, okay, but I really want a bagel. And he's like, you can wait 3 more days. Think about
Won't you wait for me, Mom?
No, think about how good those bagels will taste if you wait for me, Mom. And I was like,
I came upstairs to scones.
he came upstairs and the scones were already in the oven. He's like, wow, I thought you didn't want to bake. And I went, well, you can thank your kid for that. He texts Logan, hey, thanks. I don't know what you did, but I got scones this morning. Oh, geez. Anyway. All right, everybody. Thanks for being here with us today and putting up with me being tired and Scott doing, all the things. But I liked it. I like figuring out composition. So I hope you guys have a fantastic Friday. And we will be back on, what day is that? Monday. We'll be back on Monday.
Monday.
Yes, we will be back on Monday. Please, everybody, draw something this weekend or write something this weekend or start a journal somewhere or go outside and enjoy some fresh air and spend some time doing something creative. We love you all. We love you all very much.
We will see you on Monday.
We will indeed.